Welcome. I'm going to read from the first book in the Out of the Mind of Madness series. The next stage in the game. One day I realized I was still in the game started long ago by someone best described as a fool. Now I think of it. I went from the cusp of destiny into a family reunion that changed everyone's lives, not just mine. My mind was swimming with memories I didn't know I had, as well as ever want. We can't choose that kind of thing, though, because some of those memory caps opens as a flood happens. Like a tidal wave of information filling every cell, I was washed clean. Free of so many things, including the pain and guilt of how it was my fault the royals were dark. Not me, but those that continued this ridiculous game. The next stage of the game loomed over my head like a cloud, but not a dark one. I knew I had to take advantage and was so close to it all I could taste its sweet flavor lingering upon my desperate tongue. Play with me and you shall see who goes down this time, and it won't be me. From being a realm jumper to so many other tasks I leapt, until many were either impressed by my abilities or freaked. I knew I channeled an important being, but the source of the one, the ultimate light being that evolved beyond flesh with so many names and genders, didn't have one was heard being channeled out of me. Talk about an honor. That also freaked me out. It wasn't the source that wigged me. It was the possibilities. Let's not dwell on the negative because we do have an advantage. A calming voice inside me had reminded me of a fact that made me smile. Oh, the thought of which made me giggly with anticipation as I let some know I was the sword of Lord Michael. I truly wish it hadn't been online so I could see their faces. Some were desperate to try and convert me to their opinions like mine meant nothing, while others tried to feed off me the way an energy vampire would do. Throughout their test of my abilities, the council grew very curious. Although there was a spite as some wanted codes from me, and I refused to anything to do with their code room. It had a terrible vibe to it. Those codes once got me tortured, so no. Besides, the truth source doesn't need math codes of any type. It just thinks. It brings it to manifestation. The crazy part, how all those stories I wrote before of the other realm just seemed that for the most part until a person after person appeared. One even said it was the Palladians that created the ever-so-fearsome Draelicans. That brought up many questions to our combined mind. It was thought to be the fault of the Draelicans that so many died, but they were just soldiers of justice God depended on. Nonetheless, what really concerned the others was that Michael stay safe. Apparently, the sword source could take care of himself. I felt like saying, gee, thanks. As the other round gave its tug, I did my best to avoid. It was just one of those moments when the call of the wild wasn't called for, despite the extreme temptation. My long-awaited Michael finally did arrive, which felt as if I had reached some sort of milestone never before achieved. As the timeline changed slightly ever so often, I can't help but to chuckle. How do you pull out of the soul task when one is split between worlds all the time? There is no real answer to that age-old question. I know it's for a good reason. And yet, someday it will pan out. End chapter 1. For another time.